scriptures mentioned other than Hanuman.
Are you connected with the airport?
Oh, you guys you're not seeing it. Let's try this. I have nothing really to share on the screen anyway.
Oh, okay.
So it's just going to be all talking from memory. But yes, sorry for any technical issues and sorry if we're not in our best connection. But we're just doing our best with the tools we have today. So Hanuman is, a great personality, especially in Ramayana. So let's tell a few pastimes of Hanuman, and you'll see the mood of service from which he imbibes. So Hanuman, a little backstory about him. He is not an ordinary personality. Many of the Vanaras, when the demigods were told to come and help out for Ram Lila, because the demigods themselves weren't allowed to fight Ravan. Ravan had the benediction that he couldn't be killed by demigods. There was only two types that could do anything against Ravan, and that was the humans and the animals. Because Ravan, when he did his austerities and was seeking benedictions, he considered the humans and the animals so insignificant that he is, no, okay. So the Lord always has a mystical plan, and he always, the demons always think that they calculate everything, and they think they've made all the calculations properly. But the Lord is always going to exert his will. So if he can find, even like the passive of Nrsingadev, he found whatever small loophole he could to kill Hiranyakashipu, and he showed up in the exact loophole form that covered all of the loophole bases behind trying to honor the benedictions of Brahma. So Hanuman was you could say, the son of the embrace of Vayu, the demigod Vayu, and Anjana, his mother, who's a Vanara, of the monkey race. So, but Hanuman, because Vayu is known as being one of the most powerful demigods, Hanuman actually got much of his power, and he was doing all kinds of many, and maybe Divyanshi, you've heard many pastimes, or even Dipti and Parth, you've also heard many pastimes of Hanuman's naughty antics as a little powerful baby monkey boy. One coming to mind where he went to go eat the sun. Almost ate the sun. So I'm not so familiar with all of these because I'm not so familiar with all of them, but Hanuman did so many naughty, very powerful things that they had to check him, and they had to somehow, it was arranged that he would have to forget all his power, and then he could access that later on when he matures, because right now, if all this power is coming from him as a naughty little baby, he'll like ruin the universe or something like this. So Hanuman, like all great personalities, was a naughty child. Even I'm finding Abhiram is quite naughty, and I'm saying, okay, trying to think, he must be a great personality, because great personalities are naughty children, like Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, and so on. Except Lord Ram. Lord Ram was, he was perfect from always acting pleasing to everybody. But naughty, my son is definitely naughty, and he's not the only one. So Hanuman was also naughty, but they had to check his power. So Hanuman became, more normal in his monkey society, but he was very dharmic. And so when the mix-up between Sugriva and Vali, I don't know if you're familiar with the mix-up between Sugriva and Vali, but Sugriva was the servant of Vali. Vali was the king. Sugriva was the son of Suryadev, because all the demigods were told to help expand into the monkey race, to help Ram, to take down Ravan. So Surya, his expansion was Sugriva. Indra's expansion was Vali. And then there was and then Vayu's expansion was Hanuman. So a few of the demigods, they all worked together to populate the monkey race, to prepare for this Ram Lila that was to come. So Hanuman is the you could say the son of Vayudev, but he was normal, but he was very pious and very dharmic. So when the mix-up happened between Sugriva and Vali, it was very technical. In one sense, it appeared that he was fighting a demon, I think Lavanasura, or no, that was who Shatrughna killed in Mathura, but he was fighting a demon. He went into an underground cave to fight the demon, and Sugriva and his entourage followed to back him up. And Vali told them, wait here and back me up. And there was all kinds of, battling down there. And then all of a sudden there was like some blood-curdling scream. And then a bunch of blood oozed out of the cave. So all of the Sugriva and all them, they were very worried, like, oh my gosh. It appeared that Vali had been killed. And Vali is very, very powerful. So if Vali was killed, then the whole kingdom is doomed. If this demon can kill Vali, everyone is doomed. So what did they do? They put a stone over the cave, and many stones over the cave, and they sealed in the cave to try and keep the demon down and away. So turns out it was Vali who was victorious, and also, and now after he's victorious, he fought for 28 days or something like this, and then he comes and he's like blocked in. So meanwhile, it's dharma that in ancient times, if the older brother dies, that the younger brother will take his position and also take his wife to properly care for her and not leave her forlorn and widowed. So Sugriva now had Vali's wife, and now was sitting on Vali's throne, and locked Vali in the underground. So it looked very bad, So when Vali, escaped, and he came back and he saw Sugriva sitting on the throne, now Sugriva has his wife, and everything like this, everything was very disturbing to Vali. So Vali got very angry, and he was more powerful than Sugriva, so he retook the throne. And, but because Sugriva had not bad intention, he should have been forgiven and it should have been reconciled. But Vali, due to his anger, he adharmically kicked Sugriva out of the kingdom, which you should always be merciful to a junior, which is adharmic, that he would take his younger brother and kick him out of the kingdom. So you should always show mercy to the junior. You should have corrective behavior. No doubt. It's always dharmic to have corrective behavior. But if the person is willing to correct themselves, you show them mercy when they're a junior to you, like son or younger brother or something like that, someone in a junior position. But Sugriva was very sorry. He didn't he didn't mean to do that. He didn't mean, but Vali kicked him out of the kingdom, and then in return he took his wife, and this is very adharmic. This is very adharmic, to take someone's wife illegitimately. Sugriva only took the wife out of dharma, but Vali took out of adharma. So Sugriva had a difficult situation, but due to the nature of everything, Sugriva had some support from Hanuman and a few other monkeys, or at least one other monkey. It was Jambavan. It was just Jambavan?
Jamban
And Hanuman.
the primary ones, and then later on, after Bali was defeated, then his son Angad also.
Yes. So because they were dharmic, Hanuman and let's say Jambavan, they went with Sugriva, and they knew what had happened was adharmic, and they decided that they would go and support Sugriva. So also because the Lord is Maryada Purushottam in Ram Lila, he would naturally come to restore Dharma. He's Dharma Raj. He's the king of Dharma. So he's Shri Gauranitai Ki Shri Prahlad Nishringa Bhagavan Shri Jagannath Baladev Bhajagi Shri Guru Gauragandhara Giri Radha Govinda Ki Vrindi Devi Tulsimarani Ki. So I should first say, before I speak, I first of all want to offer my obeisances to my gurus, both Diksha and Shiksha. I'm actually speaking on my Diksha Gurus gave a class on Hanuman Jayanti yesterday, so I'll tell some pastimes. I'll be evoking his mercy that he shared in his class yesterday. I want to offer my obeisances to all of my Param Gurus, including our whole Gaudiya Guru Parampara, like Srila Prabhupada, and so on. And I want to offer my obeisances to all of the Vaishnavas, especially here. Vanchakalpa Tribhishcha Kripa Sindhivevacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. And all to the Vaishnavas, past, present, and future. Because the only thing stopping everybody from being a Vaishnava is just time. Whether it's millions of years or hundreds of millions of years or even 1 or 2 months. Time is the only thing stopping every living entity from fully stepping into their role as a Vaishnava or a servant of the Lord. So I offer my obeisances to all living entities, actually. So, yes, Hanuman. So there was this mix-up, and Hanuman, because he was so perfectly dharmic, he understood that this was wrong and I should support Sugriva. This is the side of Dharma. And due to that, the Sukriti of following Dharma, they get to meet the Lord. So out in the forest, and also when Sita was being carried away by Ravan, she saw some monkeys down on the ground, and she didn't know what to do, but she felt that she should take some of her ornaments and throw them down and to them, and then maybe that they will help Ram find her. And indeed that was the case. So when Ram met Sugriva and they were scoping out, they sent Hanuman to test Ram and see who he is, whether he's dangerous or anything like that. And turns out Ram fell in love with, or Hanuman and Ram fell in love with each other as servant and master. And then the ornaments were given to Ram, and Ram recognized, and they formed a pact. So Hanuman explained what had happened to Sugriva. Ram should meet with Sugriva, and then so they met, and they formed a pact. We told on Sunday how why he killed Vali the way he did. There he is. Killed Vali. I'll get into that. But now, Vali's been killed. Sugriva's been reinstated as the king. And now Hanuman is also ready to serve. But there's an issue. Now the monsoon season has come in India. And during the monsoon season, it's almost impossible to do traveling and to do any type of expedition work, which they needed to do for the finding Sita. So they needed to wait 4 months. And so in the meanwhile of waiting 4 months, because Sugriva, anyone who gets material position, power, and all kinds of facility for sense gratification, what happens is it degrades the consciousness. So Sugriva was very firm in helping Ram, and then Ram helped him to get his kingdom back, and he was very grateful, and I will help. But after 4 months of sense gratification, he lost most of his enthusiasm and urgency to help Ram, and gratitude actually. So Lakshman very angrily went there once the Chaturmasya was over and the vows were observed, and they weren't ready to help at all, and this angered Ram very much and angered Lakshman, and Lakshman threatened to kill everybody. And next thing you know, Sugriva and everyone, Hanuman, begging Sugriva to honor his word and come on, we must do this. And so Sugriva, even though he's in an intoxicated stupor and he had all kinds of liaisons with all his new wives and everything, and he wasn't really in the right consciousness, but he was given strength again, and then he invited all of the monkeys from all over to gather and prepare for an expedition, and he sent different monkeys to different places to go. But the prime group, which was consist of Hanuman, Angada, and Jambavan, they were to go south because that's the way they saw Sita going. Because when the ornaments came down and they looked up and they saw the sight in the sky, they saw them heading south. So the best evidence they had of where Sita could be was south, because that's what they saw. The monkeys saw, and Sita's ornaments were dropped. So Hanuman, Jambuvan, Angada, Abvali's son, sent south. So at that point, they meet with Jatayu's brother. I forget his name. What is his name? Sampati. So they meet with Sampati, and he tells them that he can see, because he has the vision of a vulture, they can see great distances. He can see Sita in the Ashok Grove over in Ravan's Lanka. So then they discover where Sita is. So now they're like, all we need to do is go there. So all the monkeys are debating, well, who can go? And they're all saying their prowess. Angad is like, I can at least jump there, but I wouldn't be able to jump back. He knows his strength and so on. So they were all debating what to do. And Hanuman, he's very humble, and he's very forgetful of any... Yeah, he was given the boon that he would forget all of his wonderful prowess. But now was the time to awaken it. So Jambuvan, he was very old, ancient, and he knew, oh, we should tell Hanuman now. Now is the time that Hanuman should awaken his devotional power. And actually all of us are like Hanuman, that we all have, maybe not quite like Hanuman, but all of us have this latent, amazing self that we are, the spirit soul, the servant of Krishna. And yet, because of our covering, we've been dulled, like Mirabai was saying, one who's not performing bhajan is dull, So we've been dulled because we haven't been engaged in bhajan. We haven't been engaged in the Lord's service. So when now Hanuman, though, is here trying to serve Ram, so now is the time to awaken that latent power. And you'll find also in your life, when you start to engage in service, you'll be able to do and say things you never thought you would have the ability to do and say. Why? Because you're empowered by the Lord. You're empowered by your connection to the Lord. When you just reconnect to the Lord, just like when a leaf stays connected to the plant, it can flourish and become its most beautiful manifestation. But when the leaf disconnects from the plant, it becomes dull and withers and dies. So similarly, because Hanuman is now connected in his bhajan to Ram and trying to serve Ram, now is the time to awaken his latent power. And Jambuvan tells Hanuman of his glories and tells him, certainly you can jump there and back, rescue Sita, and so on. And so Hanuman, he realizes his power somehow or other. It was, awakened in him. And then Hanuman was also able to expand himself. He could take this giant form and he expands himself to a very large form, and he bends down and launches off from the southern shore and starts jumping. But even in the midst of his large jump, there was some obstacles over the seas. There was one demon. I don't know the name of the demon. Do you know the name of the demon?
The one who catches the shadow, or the one who...
The one who is in the sea.
The one in the sea monster.
Like two. One was the one who was actually cursed by someone, and she wanted to eat Hanuman, and then he enters his mouth and comes.
Yeah, that was the sea.
Yeah,
So is that the one who? What's the shadow have to do with that one?
So there was another one who she catches. She has this power to catch any of the shadow, and whose shadow she catches, that thing can no longer move and gets trapped, and then she can eat.
So it's the same being is doing the shadow and has to eat.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, because I only remember that one.
Yeah.
So somehow or other, this sea monster has the ability to catch Hanuman's shadow, and he's no longer able to move. Simhika. Okay, very good. So Simhika also has been cursed. What was the curse that she had to eat Hanuman?
No, she was one of the Apsaras in Swarg, and she was cursed by, I don't remember whom, and she was cursed that she'll have to be a demon until someone basically frees her.
So kills her.
Not exactly kills her, someone basically overpowers her or something.
Okay.
Something like, because Hanuman did kill her. He entered the mouth and then came back and then he said, I kept my promise, I entered the mouth.
Okay. That's right. So somehow Hanuman gets his shadow captured, and then there's a dialogue between the demon and Hanuman, and Hanuman has to promise to be eaten by her. Is that correct?
Like, he promises her that I'll enter your mouth myself.
Okay.
You don't have to.
So she needs food, and she promises, I'll enter the mouth. So Hanuman, because he has all kinds of power, he goes very small, he enters her mouth, and then he honors his promise, and then he jumps out again.
Yeah,
And-
it becomes very, very small.
Yes, he becomes very small, and he is manifesting his power and prowess now, and then he comes out again. And then, was there a little island or something? Like, how did he jump back toward? Yeah, so he just flew. So anyway, so he jumped out, and then what was the result of that
Son
demon?
of Vayudev, the demigod of air,
Yes,
he was able to fly.
yes. So he had the ability, because he was the son of Vayu, he could travel in the air very easily. But now this demon was defeated by Hanuman's tricks. He did not kill her. He did not kill her, and then she was somehow released and returned to Apsara form.
And then
And-
she
I
thanked
think
him and
she was given back that island or something.
What's that?
She, that some island we talked about.
Oh, I don't know. This one's all very fuzzy to me.
I don't think there was any island, but like, as far as I remember, she catches the shadow and then she, like they both have a conversation where Hanuman says that let me find Sita Mata first,
Mm,
and when I return, you can eat me.
mm.
And she says no, I need to return because I
Ah.
haven't
Yes. Well, that's actually a very nice point, because we should understand that Hanuman is so involved in service that he doesn't even care about his well-being. He says, let me just finish my service first, and then once I do the service to please my Lord, then you can do whatever you want with me. You can have your way with me. So that's very, very nice that you've revealed that. And he is purely in the mood of service. So, just to keep things going, because there's many pastimes we could tell of Hanuman. Hanuman then, he carries on with his jump over to Lanka, and he completes the jump and enters Lanka. So there was was it the goddess of Lanka?
the watch lady of Lanka,
Yes.
or Lankini.
Yeah, so like you could say a watch goddess of Lanka, and also Hanuman first had to defeat her. Did he kill her? Yes, he kills her.
He breaks her.
He what?
He punches her and breaks her judgment.
Okay. So anyone who gets in the way of service, even a lady, if one is really fixed in service to the Lord, and actually, it's actually explained that Hanuman perfectly exemplifies Trinadapi Sunichena and Tarorapi Sahishna. Being more humble than a blade of grass and more tolerant than a tree. But you may wonder, how can someone humble kill a bunch of people and do all these things? Why? Because his humility, he would never do any of these things for his own benefit, but because he's purely serving the Lord or the Lord's associates, he's perfectly situated and perfectly humble. So Hanuman kills Lankini, and then he enters Lanka, and he is trying to find Sita. So Hanuman is looking everywhere, but he's noticing that all of the beautiful ladies, they have their private quarters with Ravan. And so he's debating, well, I'm a brahmachari, but I shouldn't see this. But he said, but I have to find Sita. So he's looking everywhere, and he's seeing now all these naked women who are, with Ravan, but he cannot find her in the palace. So, somehow or other, I forget how it happens, maybe you remember, but he locates Sita. How does he locate?
He was looking for all the houses
And then he saw
only there
divine
was-
glow coming from Ashok Vatika.
No. There was this only one house which had like Tulsi out in the outskirts, and that was Vibhishan's house.
That was Vibhishan's house.
So he he goes over there and he asks, I think he asked,
Don't they?
or maybe some rishi. Like there was someone who basically tells him that
To check the Ashok Grove.
that Sita Mataji is in Ashok.
And then he sees the glow
Yeah.
of the Ashok Grove, and then bam, he finds Sita. So now Hanuman, he finds Sita, and then he shrinks down and he hides in a tree, and he sees Sita is kind of being getting trouble from Ravan's demonesses. Now remember, Sita's not allowed to be touched by Ravan because Ravan has the curse. If he forces himself upon a woman again, he himself will die. So he's forced to not, take Sita by force. So he's sending all kinds of his maidservants to threaten Sita, to scare Sita, to do anything to convince Sita to take him. But Sita's so firm and fixed in her faith and love towards Ram, she doesn't care what'll happen. I'm only here. So Hanuman is seeing this, and so he hides in the tree. But when the coast is clear, he starts singing, right, the glories of Ram. Is that the case?
So like basically there's this another woman lady called Trijata. So she was the only one who was actually pampering Sita, and she was the one who was giving information to Sita that where is Lord Ram right now. He's still searching for you. He has reached his other. So she was the one who took all the ladies along with her for some kind of a break or something to let Sita rest in some peace for some time.
Okay.
And at that time, Hanuman started speaking Ram.
Yeah. So he was singing some.
Also, he gave a ring of
Then
Ram.
he dropped that
ring to
from
identify that yes, this
Yes.
is Lord Ram.
So he dropped it before he met her, or after he met her?
He met her.
Yes. So I'm just trying to get all the facts straight, so I don't speak some nonsense. So he